Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Generation X Nation, otherwise known as Gen X Nation. I like to give you a commentary on a Generation X perspective. We are the lost generation, and we are what they call the water hose generation. I take basically the topics that I see in the streets, these YouTube streets, all the hot topics, and take some time to just go over it from my perspective. Of course, since I was born in the Gen X time period, my thought process is a little different from everybody else. We kind of handle things differently. My generation seems to be straightforward. We tell the truth. We speak what's on our mind. We don't hold it back. We're not the gentle parenting generation, as to speak, as they say. We kind of, say it with our chest, as they like to say. The first topic I'm going to talk about, I've been seeing all week, is that beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And I know people are thinking, how is she gonna talk about a rap beef and she's old school? Well, for those of you who don't know and those of you who do know, my generation was the generation who created rap music. I was around when the first rap song was ever played. Even though I was young, I still remember the song and I remember us dancing to it and repeating it lyric for lyric. Some of y'all may be thinking I'm talking about the Sugar Hill Gang. That song, a hip hop, I forget the name of the song, but that actually for me wasn't the first rap song that I was introduced to. The first rap song that I was introduced to at a young, tender age was called Johnny Guitar Watson, and it was a song called The Telephone Bill. Feel free to YouTube it and look it up. That old school dude rapped during that whole song. Even though at the time I didn't know it was rap music. Rap music hadn't been thought of. However, it was a guy kind of rapping through this song, and we thought it was hilarious, and we would often go around singing it, and people would, our parents and older people would play it all the time. And then along came Sugar Hill Gang, and they came out with the very first recognizable rap song, which was called, I think, Rapper's Delight. It started out with a hip hop, and they talked about, different things, going to your friend's house to eat food, and chicken tastes like wood, and so on and so forth. And then it evolved into other people coming forth and starting the whole rap genre. So by the time Sugar Hill Gang came out with Rappers Delight, that's when we was having back then. We used to call the house parties, which was great. I mean, we actually had fun. We didn't have to worry about fighting and shooting and none of that. People would have parties in their house in the basement. I grew up north, so most people had basements. We put a little red light or down there, or a blue light or a purple light, whatever. Turn up the music, and everybody, we had a little friend in the corner DJing, kind of like the house party you seen with Kid and Play, but just, a little different but similar. No fights. We all gathered in somebody's basement, I don't know, be maybe 100 of us, whoever could fit in there, 60, 70 people, however. And we just danced our behinds off. As they say, we sweated our perms out back then, had a good time, and we actually danced. We actually looked the person in the face. We did whatever the latest dance was. We even had conversations while we danced. And hey, what's your name? What's your phone number? How old are you? What school you go to? Because we had people from different schools. We didn't always fight and have rivalries like they do now. And even if we did, it was basically on the football field or on the court where we talked trash to each other. But we all partied together. Because at the end of the day, everybody had somebody from the other side of town that they was related to or was a friend of. So I would go to the south side and visit my friends or my family. My family would come from the east side to visit us. So it wasn't nothing. I can't drive in somebody's neighborhood because I'm not from here, that kind of thing. That came down later on down the road as rap tend to evolve into gangster rap, and then people thought that they owned the neighborhood, they owned the corner that they was on, and even to this day they still think that, but they have no deeds or no titles to the cement, the sidewalk, and probably renting the house that they're in. Who knows? But anyway, we'll get back to this Kendrick Lamar, and I'm gonna make it very, very quick. And Drake, from what I could gather off the YouTube streets, social media, and all these other platforms, is Drake and Kendrick had been battling back and forth. Apparently, they don't care for each other. Um, Apparently, Drake and J. Cole had did um I guess Drake did some kind of song. He did a some kind of tagline in there referencing something with Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick Lamar came back on Drake and did his rebuttal. And then Drake and J. Cole went together and did another song against Kendrick Lamar. And then Kendrick Lamar, I guess, responded back. And I'm not going to go into all the song titles. I know it was something called Meet the Grams, Euphoria. I don't know. It was just a bunch of different songs. Well, anyway, he responded back. Kendrick came back, and I believe J. Cole said, "Okay, I'm bailing out. I'm gonna go ahead and end this beef now." And he removed the record that he initially did against Kendrick Lamar. Um, Kendrick Lamar responded with, I guess, Future and Metro Booming. They did a song, replied back. Um, and then I guess for a while, there were just several of them going back and forth, back and forth. And then somewhere along the line, the beef began. And after the songs were going back and forth, the final song came out. Well, not the final song. Kendrick Lamar decided, okay, I'm going to drop this next one called Not Like Us. Not Like Us apparently was in his repertoire. He was just holding on to it, just waiting for the right moment to drop it. And oh my God, it hit the right moment for sure. So I give Kendrick his props on that. He won up Drake on that one. Then when Drake came back with his response, it didn't hit as hard. So Drake apparently, Not Like Us came out, I know had to be spring, early summer, say April, May sometime. Because I remember going on a cruise in July, and that was all of what they played the whole cruise. Everywhere you went, you heard Not Like Us. So it's almost 5, 6 months later. And now, because you didn't get the response that you wanted to get on your rebuttal to Not Like Us, now you want to sue. And this is where I have the problem at. According to the streets, Drake is saying that his record company, I don't want to call the name, UMG, whatever you call it, I don't want to, again, everything I say here on this channel is alleged. In my opinion, is for entertainment purposes only. So Drake decides to sue his record label because he felt that they pushed this song to number one and it inflated the streams or the sales or however they do the algorithms now. Drake is up for renewal of his contract. Apparently, his first deal was $400 million, and I guess he wants to get something similar to that on the next contract. And so he's trying to say that they're going to try to shortchange him because he wasn't the most popular artist on the label, because Kendrick Lamar is under the same umbrella but different labels. So Kendrick Lamar and Drake are both under UMG but under different labels. And since Kendrick is outselling Drake apparently this past year, Drake may not get his contract renewal for the amount of money that he think he should get. So that's why he's suing, instead of just saying, hey, I lost that battle, I feel bad. Now, from what I can gather on my research, because Gen X, we research. I told you guys to do your research before the election, but nobody listened to us. Anyway, that's another story. Drake is upset because he's saying the numbers were inflated. According to my research, it is not uncommon for record labels and even artists sometimes to go into different streaming and places that play their music, whether it's Spotify or downloading the music off of Apple and different things. It's not uncommon for them to inflate the numbers by buying streams or selling streams or things like that. So a lot of time artists buy their own records to help it move up the charts, so to speak. The artists that do it, sometimes the record labels do it. So Drake is accusing his record label of doing something that apparently is common practice. A lot of people do that to get their album to hit number one or number two or whatever they're trying to do, or the top 10 on the billboards and stuff. So what they're trying to do is he's saying that they're purposely inflating, not like us, so they can basically lowball him on the next negotiation. Um, I just feel like if you're saying that they're doing that for Kendrick Lamar, how do we know they never done that for you, Drake? How do we know you haven't benefited from UMG using bots and different ways to inflate the streaming numbers so you can move up to the top 10 or number one or the top five? So, a process that may have been done for you, allegedly, that you claiming is being done for Kendrick Lamar, allegedly, now you're upset. And I'm not saying any artist does this. They could just literally be selling and making the numbers that they say they're making. But if this is a common practice, who's to say it hasn't been done before? Who's to say that hasn't been done before? So you're acting like there's something going on that the record label has never done before. And now you're mad. I think you're mad really is because you lost that battle. And see, people, here's where we come into Generation X. Gen X, the lost generation who let us off the hook, as the guy liked to say. Here's where you come into my commentary. First of all, in the words of Kobe Bryant, if I think it was him, but it was one professional athlete, basically said, if you don't like what I'm doing, just beat me. It's very simple. If you did not like Kendrick Lamar for, song Not Like Us making all of this popularity that it did and beating your numbers, then make a song to beat his numbers. But suing is so, in the rap industry, in a rap beef, to sue, that is the whitest thing you can do. And no disrespect to any Caucasians out there, but that's the whitest thing you can do. Now, trust and believe me, I will sue somebody in a minute if they do something to me. I will beat you. I always say, hey, somebody do something to you, fight them like white people fight. You know, the guy that's finna run the country has filed how many millions of lawsuits against people. He don't go out there and he just filed lawsuit after lawsuit. And I know it takes a lot of money and attorneys to do it, but fight them like white people sometimes. But some things we don't need to do that on. And a rap beef ain't it. Now, if you punch me in the face and assault me, I'm probably not going to fight you back because one, I'm too old to fight and my bones bruise easily. But I damn sure will sue you for everything you got. And I don't care if you get a check for $50, you're going to give $49.99 to me. Okay? I will take you to court and file a civil suit against you. I ain't got time to be fighting in the streets. So that's what I mean by I will fight you like a white person in certain circumstances. Other than that, no disrespect to my Caucasian people. Everything again I say is alleged in my opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Other than that, you should not be suing somebody for a rap battle that you lost. And you can sugarcoat it however you want and go on here with all this BS. They inflated the numbers. They just don't want to pay me. That ain't what it was. Your pride is hurt and you lost. You lost. So here's my Gen X commentary to you, Drake. Never in the history of rap, and I know people say, you guys Gen Xers are old, y'all know what's going on. As I stated early in this video, we was here when the first rap song was dropped. We was here. I done seen everything from the Kool Moe Dee, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Public Enemy, Salt and Pepper, Shantae, The Real Shantae, Foxy Brown, you name it, we seen it. JJ Fad. I can go on and on about, rappers in this industry. And I didn't listen to all of their music. De La Soul, Busta Rhymes. We're not even going Tupac Biggie. We just not even going to mention. It goes on and on. Okay, so I pretty much can name a lot of rappers. LL Cool J. I remember LL Cool J and Rock the Bells. 1985. I ain't gonna say where I was at, but I wasn't in the country. I was overseas. Now I remember Rock the Bells. It was everything. That's all we shook our behind to Rock the Bells. Run DMC, my Adidas. We all ran out and got some. So I can't have an opinion on rap music. And one day I'll break down the history of rap based on what I seen as a Gen X and how we got to where we are today. But that is really a whole nother story. With that being said, there have been some various rap battles over the years that I've witnessed. And, just to name a few, I remember Roxanne Shante versus the real Roxanne. LL Cool J, he beefed with at one point I think it was Ice T and Kool Moe Dee. Little Kim and Foxy Brown had a beef. T.I. and Little Flip. I remember T.I. said he was a king of the South. Little Flip said he was a king of the South. Well, I don't hear much from Little Flip, but T.I. still moving, so I think he won that one. We had Dr. Dre and Ice Cube versus Eazy-E. And I'm gonna tell you something, when Ice Cube dropped that song, No Vaseline, I lost my mind. I was like, oh my God, the way he ate Easy up in that. No disrespect to Easy, rest in peace, because Easy was good too. Easy A came back and he had his song too. But No Vaseline was, poof, that's when we knew the rap battles was getting deep, okay? Now we had Nas versus Jay-Z, okay? Uh, uh, Nicki Minaj versus every female rapper that's out today. I don't know what's up with Nicki, but she seemed to have a beef with Megan and Cardi and everybody else. Um, and the most notable rap beef of all was the Biggie and Tupac's. Sadly that ended in tragedy, but that wasn't so much the rap beef because both of them was good. I think it was more of it kind of boiled over into the streets, and it didn't need to go there. They should have just kept dissing each other on rap. You know what I'm saying? Because Tupac said some stuff about Biggie. I was like, "Ooh," talking about his wife and what he had done to her. I said, "Ooh, that hurt right there." But the point I'm making is, out of everybody I listed and all these other beefs that have went on for years and years, ain't none of these people sued each other. Nan one of them. They remained, everything they did, it remained in the studio on wax, as we like to say. Now it's digital, but back then we called it wax. They went in there, they gave it their best shot. And if they lost, they just took their L and kept on pushing. You took your L, everybody talked about you. Oh God, so and so, Nas won that beef. No, Jay-Z won that beef. No, Nas did that. Ether was everything. Da 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 da. That was it. Wasn't nobody going to the record label saying, I'm gonna sue you because I lost a rap battle and he sold more records than me and you didn't, push my music hard enough to get more. No, it's not about how they pushing your music. It's about the public. If the public likes it, they're gonna go buy it or in this instance, download it or whatever the case may be. Okay, the record label was there doing their job. Everybody knew about y'all beef. It was all in the streets. So when you did your rebuttal or your reply to that particular song, it's not like people didn't know that you did it. They just didn't like it. And see, this is what I mean, the difference between my generation and your generation. My people back there, the Ice Cubes, the NWAs, the LL Cool J's, Lil Kim's, whatever they was doing, beefing or whatnot, they took their L and kept it pushing. They didn't go in there and sue anybody. You people growing up with this soft parenting thing in this generation, everybody ain't gonna like you, and that's okay. Everybody ain't gonna buy your music, and that's okay. There's people out here today who has some of the best music I have ever heard. Excuse me, my chain is on my microphone. The best music I have ever heard. Some of the best singers I've ever heard. And their songs don't sell like some of these half singers. And it's not so much that they can't sing or they go sue the record labels. It's the taste of the audience. Sometimes it's just the audience just don't like that person because they got a terrible personality or they don't like the way they do interviews or they don't do interviews or they're rude to people. All of that factors in how you build your audience and your base. Drake, you got a trillion followers. People love Drake. I mean, a couple summers ago couldn't turn on the radio without hearing Drake's song. Hotline, all that stuff. Hotline Bling, all that. You had your moment. It's okay. Rap evolves. And as time goes on, some people fade out, some people come in. Don't mean that you wasn't relevant and you don't have your following, but the next group may be ready to take your spot. And you have to be ready for that. You're not going to be on top forever. Enjoy it while it lasts and keep pushing. But the most widest thing you could do, and again, nothing against my Caucasian people, it's just the terminology that we use in our community, is sue. Don't sue. Just beat them. Go back to the lab. Find something that's fire, as y'all say, and bring it back out. Because in the history of all rap beefs, as I stated before, I have never seen anybody sue because they lost the battle. They took their L and they moved on. They took their L and they moved on. And your generation has to learn everybody ain't gonna like you, everybody ain't gonna love you, but support and love on the people who love you back. You're not for everybody, and that's okay. And in that instance, the song that you wrote, they just wasn't feeling it, and that's okay. It's okay. Take some time, go back to the lab, as I like to call it, rewrite some verses, and come back out. It don't even have to be a beef against Kendrick. Just bring us a hot song. People like you, Drake. But when you do this kind of stuff in the rap industry, it makes you look weak. An industry that's supposed to be about gangsters and all of that, it makes you look weak. Industry is supposed to be about keeping it real, it makes you look weak. Because one thing we know about Kendrick Lamar, he about that life. And I don't mean he's some gangbanger, shoot it up. I'm saying he is a lyricist. He can rap. I knew that the first time I heard some of his music. Loyalty in my DNA, that was everything. Everything I heard Kendrick Lamar put out lyrically, listening to what he's saying, I was like, this guy's good. He's different. He's not like everybody else. He don't have to sing about booties and call me up at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning and be at my. He don't have to sing about that, and people can still love him because he's from a different angle when he brings his rap in. You guys like to talk about the party, popping bottles and a bunch of B's and H's and women and how many girls you can. He don't rap about that, and he could still be just as relevant as you. Stay in your lane to do you, and he'll be in his lane doing him. But the problem is when all you rap about is women, parties, big booty girls, and you can't really rap about the real stuff. When this guy is, that's what he do. He not rapping about that. He's giving you knowledge. He's breaking stuff down. It's kind of hard to go in there and try to battle with him when your lyrics are a little bit different from his. You come from Degrassi, CW33 TV. We ain't forgot. He really comes from that life. He's about that life. He's LA, California, whatever you want to call it. He's seen what he's singing about. He understands how that works. He understands the game. He understands how it's played. So it's easy for him to come in there and break you down like that. You come from a little suburban background, Canada, this, that, and the third, over here in the U.S. playing gangster. What you're playing, he's actually living or have lived. He's not playing gangster. He was that gangster per se. I'm not saying he was a thug or anything. I'm just saying per se. You over here playing it. You're like, and action, cut, sing. That's what you're doing. He's actually living this for real. How do you think Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and Eazy-E can come out with that gangster rap so hard? Because they wasn't making it up. It was what they seen every day in their hood, and we got it. Some of y'all come out here and try to pretend like y'all seeing it. No, it's people out here that's really living it. So I'll say to you, as they always, as the best of the best say in any other industry, if you don't like me winning, then you should beat me. Go in there, put some lyrics down, come back with a hot joint, and shut up the haters. But suing, I get it, it's a business thing, da 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 da, you're trying to lowball me. All of that to me is a pride thing and an envy thing because you lost that battle. Because if it wasn't for that song, Not Like Us, I don't think this lawsuit would ever came about, whether they shortchange you or not on the second contract. You would have signed it and kept it going. Take your pride, put it aside, acknowledge that man got you, keep it pushing. Even Jay-Z and Nas made up. Okay? Hell, I mean, Little Kim and Faith is cool now. They friends, and they couldn't stand each other. It don't have to be like that. It's all in fun. Keep it on the wax. We don't ever want to see something get out of hand anymore because we seen that how that happened, and we lost two of the best in a tragedy over some rap beef, music, or whatever the case may be. But Drake, that's the weakest and the punkest thing you could have done was going there and filed this, in my opinion, this little fake lawsuit. But good luck with you. Just my opinion. This is how Generation X think. We gonna push you out there. We gonna tell you that's foul. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like we said, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. We're not gonna do this soft parenting. Oh, it's gonna be okay. You should sue them. No. If you want to be a rapper, you want to be about that life, then go out there and be about that life and live it. Because I can guarantee you the real rappers out there sitting there laughing at you. Because in their opinion, that's a punk ass move. And with that being said, this is Gen X Nation. I am going to sign off now. Thank you for listening to my video. Please like, please subscribe to my channel. I'm not asking you for some money. I'm just telling you to like my video and please subscribe to my channel. I enjoy doing this. Most of my commentary is literally off the top of my head. I don't take a lot of notes. I try to just say things and make it fresh and new. I try not to copy what other people say, so I don't listen to a lot of other people. And I know sometimes two great minds do think alike, so some of the things I say you may hear on another channel. I just want you to know I just think of this myself, and I come in here being as original as possible. And as my channel grow, I will improve on some of my commentary, but I hope you guys enjoy what I had to say. I tried to keep it light and nice, but I could have went in a little harder on Drake. But again, I ain't got a dog in this fight. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and till the next time. Again, Gen X Nation. Everything on my channel is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. If you like my commentary, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and you guys have a good rest of your day. Gen X Nation out.